Hello and welcome to another SonicWall video tutorial. My name is MG Sriramaya, Security Engineering Escalation Group SonicWall. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure a policy-based hub-and-spoke VPN between SonicWall UTM appliances and Windows Azure. These are the configuration steps. Create a site-to-site VPN between the hub SonicWall and the spoke SonicWall. Create a site-to-site VPN between the hub SonicWall and Windows Azure. Test communication between the hub and the spokes. This is the network diagram of what we are trying to achieve. We have an NSA 5600 at the corporate office. It has a LAN in the 24-bit subnet. We will call it the hub SonicWall. Here we have an NSA 220 wireless at the branch office. It too has a LAN in the 24-bit subnet. We will call it spoke 1. This SonicWall has a dynamic WAN IP address. So the VPN between this and the hub SonicWall would be in aggressive mode. And this is the Windows Azure Cloud Network. It has a virtual network in the 24-bit subnet, and we will call this spoke 2. We will create a site-to-site VPN between the hub and each spoke. Once the VPN tunnel is up, hosts behind the hub must be able to communicate with the hosts behind the spokes. And the hosts behind the spokes must be able to communicate with each other through the hub SonicWall. We will begin by creating a VPN between the hub and spoke SonicWalls. I am logged into the management interface of the hub SonicWall, the NSA 5600. In the address objects page, I have created an address object called local network 1. I have added these two address objects to the address group. One is the X0 subnet of this SonicWall, and I have created an address object for the 24-bit network of the Windows Azure virtual network. In the VPN between the hub and the spoke 1 SonicWalls, this will be the local network. And for destination network, I have created this address object with the network of the spoke 1 SonicWall. Let us now create the VPN policy. On the VPN settings page, click on Add. Set policy type to site-to-site. And set authentication method to IKE using pre-shared secret. Enter a name for this policy. We will call it spoke 1. In the primary gateway name, we enter 0.0.0.0 since the spoke 1 SonicWall has a dynamic WAN IP address. Under shared secret, enter a pre-shared secret. We must enter the same secret in the spoke 1 SonicWall. Set local IKE ID to firewall identifier and enter an identifier. Set remote IKE ID also to firewall identifier and enter an identifier. We must use the same identifiers in reverse when configuring the VPN policy in the spoke 1 SonicWall. In the Networks tab, set local networks to the address group local network 1 and set remote networks to the address object of spoke 1 network. Under the Proposals tab, set Exchange to Aggressive mode. Keep the remaining options as it is. Click on OK. Let's now create a VPN policy in the spoke 1 SonicWall. I am logged into the management interface of the spoke 1 SonicWall, the NSA 220 wireless. In the Address Objects page, I have created these two address objects. This is the X0 subnet of the hub SonicWall. And this is the Windows Azure virtual network, and I have added them to an address group called Destination Network. And for local network, I will be using the default address object of the X0 subnet of this SonicWall. Go to the VPN settings page. Click on Add. Set the policy type to site-to-site and the authentication method to pre-shared secret. Enter a name for this policy. We will call it Hub. In the primary gateway name, we enter the FQDN of the hub SonicWall. Under Shared Secret, enter the same secret as in the hub SonicWall. Set local and remote IKE ID to firewall identifier and enter the identifiers as in the hub SonicWall VPN policy, but in reverse order this time. In the Networks tab, set local networks to X0 subnet and set remote networks to the address group Destination Network. Under the Proposals tab, set Exchange to Aggressive mode. Keep the remaining options as it is. On the Advanced tab, enable the checkbox Enable Keep Alive. Click on OK. We have created the VPN policies in the Hub and Spoke 1 SonicWall. Let's now create a VPN between Windows Azure and the Hub SonicWall. In the Windows Azure Management Portal, navigate to the Networks page. Click on New at the bottom. Under Virtual Network, click on Custom Create. On the Virtual Network Details page, enter a name for this virtual network. Select a location. Click on the right arrow to go to the next page. Here, we will not enter any DNS servers, so this connection will be using Azure DNS servers. Check the box Configure a site-to-site VPN and go to the next page. Local network here means the networks at the physical location. Enter a name for this network. Under VPN device IP address, enter the X1 IP of the Hub SonicWall. Under starting IP, we will enter the X0 subnet of the Hub SonicWall 192.168.168.0 and set the subnet to 24-bit. Click on Add Address Space. Here we enter the X0 subnet of the Spoke 1 SonicWall 172.27.24.0 and set the subnet to 24-bit. Go to the next page. Here we set the Azure Virtual Network in the cloud. Under starting IP, enter 172.16.16.0 and set a 24-bit mask. Click on Add Gateway Subnet. You will notice that the gateway IP is automatically populated based on the address space entered above. Microsoft requires two IP addresses from the virtual network to enable routing between the physical premises and the cloud. Click on the checkmark icon to create the virtual network. Once the virtual network has been created, click on it. At the bottom of the page, click on Create Gateway. Windows Azure supports two kinds of site-to-site VPNs, static routing VPNs and dynamic routing VPNs. Static routing VPNs are also called policy-based VPNs. Dynamic routing VPNs are also referred to as route-based VPNs. Route-based VPNs depend on a tunnel interface. For this video, we will select static routing. Once the gateway is created, you will be presented with a gateway IP address. This IP must be entered when creating the VPN policy in the SonicWall. For more information such as the pre-shared key, IKE and IPsec proposals, download the VPN device script. With the information here, let us go back to the Hub SonicWall and create a VPN policy to Windows Azure. I am back on the Hub SonicWall, the NSA 5600. In the Address Objects page, I have created one more address group called Local Network 2. And I have added the address object X0 subnet and the address object of the Spoke 1 SonicWall to it. Go to the VPN settings page. Click on Add. Set the policy type to site-to-site and the authentication method to pre-shared secret. Enter a name for this policy. We will be referring the script for the remaining settings. In the primary gateway name, enter the gateway IP address of the Azure network. Under Shared Secret, enter the shared secret generated at the Azure gateway. In the Networks tab, set Local Networks to Local Network 2 and set Remote Networks to the address object of the Azure network. Under the Proposals tab, set Exchange to Main Mode. Change encryption to AES 256 in Phase 1 and Phase 2. Change the Phase 2 lifetime seconds to 3600. Keep the remaining options as it is. Click on OK. Here we have two VPN policies, one to the Spoke 1 SonicWall, the NSA 220 wireless, and the other to Windows Azure. Since the VPN to Spoke 1 is in aggressive mode, we must initiate the connection from that site. I am on a host behind the Spoke 1 SonicWall. I ping the X0 interface IP address of the Hub SonicWall. I am able to ping it. The green LED icon in both SonicWalls indicate that the tunnel between the Hub and Spoke 1 SonicWall is up. You also notice that the tunnel is up between the Hub SonicWall and Windows Azure. In static routing VPN, Windows Azure automatically connects to the remote gateway. I have a virtual machine in the Azure cloud and I have made it part of the Azure VPN subnet. Let's try to ping its IP address from the Spoke 1 SonicWall. I am able to ping it. Let's now try to ping from the Azure virtual machine. Let me ping the X0 interface IP address of the hub SonicWall. Success. Now let me try to ping the host IP address behind the Spoke 1 SonicWall. Great. Finally, let me try to ping the virtual machine IP address from a host behind the hub SonicWall. I'm able to ping it. And I'm also able to ping the host behind the Spoke 1 SonicWall from here. So, as you can see, we can pass data between the hub and the spokes too can communicate with each other. This concludes this video on how to configure a policy-based hub and spoke VPN between SonicWall UTM appliances and Windows Azure.